Marriage Council, one couple's secrets to a great marriage. Kenny and Selma have been married for, get this, 72 years. So when their grandson recently tied the knot, they wanted to record a video to share some advice with him, and it was posted on awkwardfamilyphotos.com and has become very popular. Let's take a listen. Here to discuss it is Hal Runkle. He's the author of The Self-Centered Marriage, and also Dr. Judith Sills is a clinical psychologist. Good morning to both of you. We're going to listen to some clips in just a moment, but overall, you get the impression that this couple keeps things very basic. Is this a secret to being married for 72 years?
Oh, they also keep it very playful as well. Yeah, it is very basic. You know, if you have this basic understanding of commitment and love for each other, then it's easy, right, to have fights occasionally. It's easy to, do things like this and be playful about it. Old couples are like old trees.
Yeah.
They're like a vanishing tree.
That's good.
Right.
I like that. Old couples are like old.
So let's use them as a resource and get to one of their tips. There are three that we're going to talk about today, and they have 5 on this tape. The first one has to do with arguing, and this is how Selma and Kenny handle it. Let's take a listen.
Just don't argue with each other. If your wife...
I don't argue with you.
No, you do argue with me.
No, you always pick on me,
Well,
but we never...
If I didn't argue with you, and if I didn't fight with you, we wouldn't be there together for how many years?
72 years gonna be.
But here we are, the two of us together.
We went to bed happy after our fights.
That's because we were tired of fighting.
Okay, so there's a lot of lesson in
There's one big lesson. 2 strong people make emotional space for each other. It's not what they're saying. She speaks, he speaks, and they laugh about it. She says, you need me to pick on you. And he kind of goes, you do. Then we go to bed happy. I love that lesson.
And I love that, they start off by saying, don't fight. And yet the whole time they're arguing, right? The whole time. And I think it's actually a hallmark of great couples is they are able to represent themselves, right? He's like, no, actually, you do pick on me, right? Even though they've been married this long time, they're able to represent themselves, but in a loving, playful way.
That's exactly
right.
Honest and forgiving. All right, let's take a look at what Selma says is another tip, which is to recommend spending time together. Let's take another listen.
Travel. Go on to as many places that you can to be together. And you got to watch your husband, though, because on one of the trips in Italy, I remember Kenny was flirting with one of the ladies at the...
At the pool, I was surprised. She
didn't have a top on, and there he was standing over her like she
And I
died.
told somebody to take a picture of me.
And he did.
Oh, my Lord. Oh, my Lord.
This is the most important thing they have to teach, which is, you know what? There's a little juice between them. When your guy notices someone, you react, but you don't have to go crazy. You can get in on the act. He's human. I think I'll be part of that and take your picture. I love that. But she remembers 50 years.
Still talking about it.
She's talking about
But
it.
essentially, what I love about it is great couples are not afraid of the fact that you're sexual beings and you're attracted to other people.
Right.
They're not afraid of it. In fact, you know what? If my wife comes to me and says, hey, this guy hit on me, right? I feel privileged because she's sharing it with me. If she doesn't share that with me, then she's keeping that secret.
As the honesty.
Selma knows Kenny was not going back to the bar to meet that woman.
Exactly.
That's
She's
what
gonna be with
makes
her.
it work for 72 years.
All right, we're going to get to one more tip. We've got time for just one more, and that's on how to keep a clean house.
Always keep a clean house. Make sure that your laundry is done, that your kitchen is clean, and this too would help you in a
Wait a
healthy...
minute. Why don't you tell him that I throw things on the floor because it falls on the floor and you yell at me very much, everything. You drop something, pick it up. Don't do this, don't do that.
But you have to wait for me to tell you to pick it up, Kenny.
I don't know I drop it.
What I really take away from this, and it seems to me, they're really communicating directly and very honestly with each other.
And they're not afraid to be uncomfortable. right? I mean, they're making this video that they know is going to be shown at their
Right.
grandson's wedding, and he's not, but wait a minute, you need to tell them that you
The
yelled
truth.
at me. The truth.
And,
right?
and indirectly too, because basically they're also saying, she says, I make the rules, I set the standards, and he's saying, I let you do that, but every so often I drop something. Maybe you can't do it all the time. She says, okay, that's okay by me.
You know, it's such a pleasure to hear from people who've been married a long time, and I think that's, and especially in a way that this video ends, which is they toast and they kiss.
They
And
kiss
that's enough.
passionately, and she's
Passionately.
embarrassed by it. It's beautiful to see.
Yeah.
So that's something to see online. Hal and Judith, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
It's been fun to watch this with you. And coming up